In the name of poetry, I offer you these words, translations of thoughts and feelings that fester and ferment within. I offer you remnants of poets who have spoken the word, taken me to church and prayed for my soul as they bore their own. I offer you the time it takes to speak to our hearts and then dare commit that vulnerability to memory. Lord knows it's not always easy. Kaditoko kainehel. Mujalifa wa bakwena libasiya, mwana wa Josie as well as CPT. I offer you my perspectives, my mother's teachings, the moments of hopelessness and even those that excite, the Taksim Gosi that makes me right. I'll even offer you these butterflies of mine if you accept the invite. In the name of poetry, I speak with you in hopes that you will pray for others in doing exactly what you need to do, that you'll pray for others in whatever language God chooses for you, but that you find God in your language too. It is in the name of poetry that I've come to you. This is our church. For some of us, this is our church. She made a house call to dear Mr. Lucifer, telling him not to worry. She'd found her soul. Neatly wrapped up in serene metallics, it was imprinted with the kind of beauty that butterflies are dipped into before heaven releases them into the day sky. These butterflies, they know nothing of the color that drips from leaking wounds or notions of bloodstains. These butterflies have turquoise melodies flowing through their veins, and they're imprinted between their dark orange and indigo patterns of these delicious lavenders that tell tales of beauty falling in love with the beast, what holy scriptures call a holy trinity. Really, they'd found those butterflies that make the soul happy. So you understand, she had to make that call to Mr. Lucifer, but she had him on speed dial, constant redial. Lucifer used to wrap his big, bold red arms around her existence until she was suffocated of all life. Her precisely proportioned, lightly peachy petiteness always looked so disturbingly picturesque when she'd lay there. She'd lay in this fetal position, with her delicate soft body in absolute contrast with that thick red that lay inside her. Lucifer begged her to bleed. Every night, he made sure that she'd confirm her loyalty by having her flesh French kiss the ripples of his blade so deeply that thick red blood made love to her arms before lying in that picture of disillusion beside her. It's the only way she knew how to live. And as if that smell, potent as it was chanting cautious whispers on her recklessness and her own immortality, she'd smear this thick red all over her body. Slow strokes, low hopes, that if she perhaps didn't die, at least some of those pains and morbid pleasures were bled through her eyes. It's the only way she knew how to live. And in so doing, she held hands with the devil on a rusted merry-go-round that left splinters cutting through her feet. It's the only way she knew how to live until one day she met this old woman. She too had lived by the blade engraved with dangerous, bloody intentions. But you see, this woman, she'd learned how to court pictures, make them out of wet strips of paper mache, things that were supposed to mean absolutely nothing. She knew how to carve out pictures like day courting night, and when the two of them had given birth to dusk, it dawned on them that even when insomnia crescent moons didn't come up in the daytime, happiness could still be reflected through butterflies. So she made that house call to dear Mr. Lucifer, telling him not to worry. She'd found her soul, neatly wrapped up in serene metallics that have butterflies reciting a butterfly wonderful kind of happy. Through notions of butterflies, she found her soul's salvation and her happy. Dear Thomas, Mr. Sankara, our revolutionary martyr, we resurrect your cotton-clad spirit. We, the children of young mothers and fathers you let blossom in it. Men, our fathers, who knew how to die and weave, died and were weaved into a typical African story. The one that commits Fasofani to its suicide, at least it's nothing like the Namibian genocide. Ndate Sankara, black is still poor. Women are still war pawns. Our fathers forgot to build black industry, but it's okay. Right now we're casting our eyes on Kigami. Mr. Upright Man, now we're trying. Children and sons, now we're trying. Quitting our 9-to-5s to create collective black industries. Our colonial education is burning. It is we who are building and burning. What happens next? We'll see. We were young spirits. When it was our turn to wear human bodies, we sprinted, tried them on, organ for limb, until we felt suited in these hand-me-down skins. But we began to itch. Our fathers forgot to rub salt and pray and peace all over these porous things, so now we're baby spirits dressed in human bodies, wrapped in unblessed skins, and now we young teenagers dressed in human bodies, summoning bullets and things. Teenage spirits, now fashioning these target backs that thirst whenever they think of pellet piercings and things. But luckily, the human bodies that we borrowed come with tummies that still need prayer to swallow. So unless our ancestors know how to rub salt and pray and peace from up above with their ancestral know-how, unless they learn to protect us now, these tummies will throw up these bullets whole. Manly man, my modern marvel, master of my musical melody, maker of myths and make-believes, yet maestro of mathematical mysteries, he exists magnificently. This man, mobile of masculinity, magnum opus is his muscular machinery he names marginal, but I believe his mind to be magical. This man carries the mind of Machiavelli's, manners of martyrs like Gandhi's, and a mouthpiece of merit like Martin Luther and other kings. Like a mockingbird, multiple mad melodies to my femininity sings. This man gives my mind marijuana wings. I love me some man. Possessor of only a left rib, cause he gave up his right so I can be sculptured into who I am. Possessor of those ridiculously strong hands that cup mine so precisely that only he can instill calm in me. My heart beats in the palm of his hand. This man, he is my sunshine and he rises. Oh dear sunshine, he rises and shallow sea waves evaporate between his smile. I think sunshine have forgotten how to stop smiling, cause his constant blaze keeps my precipitation forming, my welcome global warming, melting my heart when trifling niggas turn it as cold as ice. And my hatred for men is MOP deep. He rescues me, takes me into his arms. My heart beats in the palm of his hand. This man, I speak not of a male who thinks like a boy, but he has little girls and boys singing Jovijo around his little beamer toy. Aibo, kulmanya ndoda yamampela bo. Hore ke kgone ho hlalosa mohlomong ke re Sesotho ke senyantse letsweleng la mme empa hlaloso e tswileng lelemeng la ntate. Therefore, no other man so beautiful has even called me baby and made my soul smile. Not even a song composed by a heavenly Barry White, sung in the voice of a Luther Vandross, played alongside the trumpets of a Louis Armstrong. Not even that song calls me baby and makes my soul smile. Damn it, I love this father of mine. My Superman. But I think Daddy no longer knows how to be fully human because he's become my superhuman. Dad, Katleho. For the times I fell asleep in front of the TV and my little baby feet couldn't carry me, I woke up the next morning in my little Tweety 90 and I still had my virginity. Too many kids talk about sleeping and then having their little rape trust raped out of them. Hymens bleeding, trust bleeding, kitties, tweeties, that's not me. Dad, if Botu ceases to exist, I will always find it in you. If the notion of God never existed, he came through you. Dad, understand that I am a proud wearer of my daddy's jeans. Nothing as au fait of those designer thingies. I am my father's label. Beautifully, it's me. So Daddy, thank you. Understand that I am the example of a black girl raised by a black man doing black manly fatherly things. Yes, we exist. Black men, the kind uncomfortable with their own dark and night, gathered around a fire that they'd use their own lives to ignite. These men knew everything about fire. They had black labels lacing their breaths, spirits warming their chests. It is fire they would ingest whenever their paraffin-lit homes exploded. Fueled by their black men fire, their black men stress. Homes overheating, kids choking, whenever these fathers' fire were inside. For a long time, these men were mere containers of fire. They sat fuming, having these fiery conversations about who was better. AmaZulu okanye amaXhosa, they sat fuming because routinely they'd learned to swallow disaster. Sat fuming, and you would have thought that these fiery conversations would tear them apart, but no. Here they wielded them together. In unison, they practiced, used all this fire that sat fuming on. They went from being men who didn't know how to use their fire, who would choke, to men who knew how to spit up balls of flames. Black dragons played until they learned to swallow the blazing disaster again. this was not enough. They needed witnesses. They needed the world to know that they too had found work, and they were hard at work. Fuming, playing, black dragons. They needed someone to confirm that they were worth all they ablaze. So they found him, a man who was foreign to their fires. But black men, men of fire. What did his sizzling skin look like? To you? Did his charcoal skin and black East African wit skin tone look the same? And what about the flames? Hamusi, Usiamullo. I mean, Mele. Did you have to cover your nose? Or have you become accustomed to the smell of foreigners' body going up in smoke? How much petrol does a human body need? How much of your blaze did Ernesto's body eat? Men of fire.